Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, and all that other good stuff. Yeah, I got my Wolfman beard and all that. Getting off the road, but this one is about exotics. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna shoot it straight from the hip. This is the biggest thing with the exotics. It's a dog built on a flaw, maybe multiple flaws. The look that most exotic people are shooting for actually has attributes of dwarfism and also Down syndrome. Now, excuse me. In a typical situation, what happens is if you start to see either of these characteristics come up in most animals, what we would do is we would typically go ahead and we would not breed those animals. We definitely wouldn't start trying to breed towards those attributes and doubling and tripling and even in some cases more than quadrupling up on these genes. And what we've seen happen is not just dwarfism anymore or not just Down syndrome, but it's like an elevated status of it. These dogs can't live very long, they won't live very long. We continue to see it. You show me the old exotic and I'll give you a very big round of applause, because even the you know even the people who say that they have good exotics, most of them, and I will say most because I know a few people who do have some older exotics, but they're not like the exotics that's advertised. But most of them won't have an exotic that's over 3 years old because they just don't live that long. It's that simple, you know what I mean? To have surgeries for things like soft palates and then still breed the dog. The soft palate is an issue. The soft palate has everything to do with the breathing issue. But we fix those. I mean, you've seen many of these dogs with their tongues hanging out and don't seem to be quite there. That's traits of, the Down syndrome, amongst other things. And I tell you, I won't even say that we can fix this thing, honestly. And this is the reason. If it was something off of some other premise, it would make sense. But for us to say we're going to take better dogs to dogs that obviously suffer from many issues, probably stemming, from the main concerns of being, Down syndrome dogs or dwarfs, we're going to now take a cleaner gene pool and put it into these dogs that are already, let's just use the term, contaminated. We'll use that not in a derogatory way, but they're already contaminated with bad genes, So you're taking a good dog and you're going to take it to these dogs to try to make it better and improve the lifespan. But basically all you've done is just now contaminate good dogs with bad blood. And, overall that look and everything that comes along with that look and everything, you really can't achieve that look solidly in most cases without breeding to some of these dogs that are already exhibiting traits that would allow these dogs to die very, very early, have breathing issues, have joint issues, have, even in some cases, we'll just say, mental issues where the dogs don't seem to be all there. Very stiff in the stifles, for those that don't know what a stifle is, it's the back leg should have a curve to it and then sit at a 90-degree. A lot of these dogs' legs are very, very straight just the whole way through. That's not good. It's extra stress on the ACL, it's extra stress on the hip. And as I explained in many of my other videos, when you start a problem from one part of the body, it usually over the years translates to the other because you compensate for what was wrong. I mean, that's just talking about the physical characteristics that come with it, elbows, hips, and all that stuff. But, you still have to deal with the Down syndrome effect that really there's not a lot that we can do with that. And the dogs are not going to be, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but, a Down syndrome puppy is not going to be a puppy that you would want to breed into a bunch of your other dogs and have a bunch of Down syndrome puppies. The best thing to do is, if you had that happen, to fix the dog and move forward. It's more contamination of the gene pool. If we're supposed to be making something better, I would say 99% of the people who are doing exotics, it's impossible for you to do better. Basically, the premise that you're using is try to say you're going to clean up something isn't realistic, first and foremost. You know, I'm tired of seeing the banners, the 101 million banners with the dogs that have the angel wings off the back. You know, rest in peace this, rest in peace that. And these are puppies. These dogs are 2 years old and younger. But for whatever reason, you guys continue to breed these dogs, but y'all don't see a problem. And the most major problem that we have is that they're just not healthy dogs. It's not picking on you. I don't care about how much money you're making with the dog. The product that you're picking is destined to cause more and more bad dogs because you can't, you know, make sugar out of shit. And it's going nowhere. Some of you have some decent dogs. You know, it's a very small group of people who, for whatever reason, they did it the right way and they have some decent dogs. But the majority of the dogs that are called exotics today, I'll be honest with you, they just don't stand a chance. And even no matter which way you breed them, you're not going to breed out the issues. These issues are embedded in the DNA and really can end up making things a lot worse, you know. So, I mean, I'm just telling y'all, man, there's no out on this exotic thing. And that's just my perspective on it, you know. Like I said, if you're one of the few people who have them nice, you better keep them nice, because if you go the way of these other people, you too will have dogs that'll be dying in, you know, less than 2 years. A lot of people are breeding them on their first heat, scared because they scared the bitch will die before a second heat. I mean, all of these things are just ridiculous. It's really animal abuse and something should be done about it. But I tell you what, man, I'm gonna get on the road and take care of my allergies too. But God bless y'all, man. Hopefully this video was all right. Sorry I couldn't bring my normal energy. I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.